Once upon a time, there was a poor shoemaker who, through no fault of his own, had become so poor that he had nothing left but enough leather to make one last pair of shoes. In the evening, he cut out the shoes that he wanted to work on the next morning and went to bed, intending to rise early and finish his work. His conscience was clear and his heart was light despite his misfortune, so he soon fell asleep. In the morning, after saying his prayers, he sat down to get to work. But to his great surprise, the shoes were already finished. He was astonished and didn't know what to think. He took the shoes into his hands to examine them, and they were so neatly made that there wasn't a single bad stitch in them. It was as if they were the work of a master craftsman. Soon after, a customer came into the shop, and he was so pleased with the shoes that he paid more than the usual price. With this money, the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather to make 2 more pairs of shoes. That evening, he cut out the leather and went to bed, intending to work on them the next day. But when he got up in the morning, the shoes were already finished, just as before. Soon customers came and paid well for the shoes, so that the shoemaker was able to buy enough leather for 4 more pairs of shoes. Again he cut out the leather in the evening, and again he found the shoes finished in the morning. This went on for some time. Whatever he cut out in the evening was finished by morning, and the shoemaker soon became prosperous. One evening, just before Christmas, the shoemaker said to his wife, "How about we stay up tonight to see who is helping us?" His wife agreed, so they lit a candle and hid behind some clothes that were hanging up in the corner of the room. At midnight, 2 little elves came into the shop, sat down at the shoemaker's table, and began to work with such skill and speed that the shoemaker could hardly believe his eyes. They didn't stop until the shoes were finished. Then they quickly ran away. The next morning, the shoemaker's wife said, "The little elves have made us rich, and we should show our gratitude. They must be cold, running around with few clothes on. I'll make them little shirts, coats, vests, trousers, and stockings, and you can make them a pair of shoes each." The shoemaker agreed, and they worked together to make the clothes. In the evening, they laid the presents out on the table instead of the usual leather, and then hid again to watch what the elves would do. At midnight, the elves came in, ready to start working. But when they saw the tiny clothes, they laughed with delight. They quickly put them on, and once they were dressed, they danced and sang, "Now we're boys so fine to see, why should we longer cobblers be?" Then they jumped over the chairs and tables and ran out of the shop, disappearing into the night. They never came back again. But the shoemaker and his wife prospered and lived happily ever after.